What is up? Welcome back to another video. We got the old box in. It's all good. This was a calculated decision that I've made here, okay? Do I remember the things I ordered? No. Do I remember the quantity of things I ordered? Not really. But there is a manifest here, so let's see. I did get more lenses this time, purely for the sake of kitting them out with cameras. So that was kind of a smart move on my part. To start off, we have this, the Canon Rebel XS. And I got this, I think this one was $4. Yeah, this was $4 because it has like the sticky grip situation. We've talked about this a little bit. I think it had to do with if you use like sunscreen or bug spray, the DEET or whatever chemical agent in there would kind of erode the grip here. And this is not nearly as bad. Wow, that's actually not bad at all. Okay. So, barring the fact that this doesn't have other issues, which they usually don't, they usually just kind of work, this should be a perfectly fine camera. The grip sometimes though is so bad that like you will pull your hand away and you'll have, you know, black residue from the rubber. But really all I do with that is clean it off. And you lose the texture, it just becomes kind of the smooth thing, but then it's not as sticky. So Rebel XS for $4, it's not bad. I mean, I'm still gonna clean this though, because it's kind of on the verge of being sticky. Not a bad find, not a bad place to start. These things are great. I've talked about them before. Super, super lightweight. EF lens mount. Let's go into the lenses real quick because I'm very curious about the lens quality. A lot of these I got and they were like ugly or bargain or as is or whatever. And this one clearly has a pretty pronounced dent into this filter ring here, so you won't really be able to put filters on it. The front optic has a bit of smudging on there. But overall, the quality looks to be fine. The helicoid is moving just fine. Apertures are stopping down just fine as well. I think this is just a good lens, really, minus the threading issue there, which I might be able to kind of tap out a little bit, but not a bad lens at all. And then we go to these baddies. I got a couple M42s. This is a 55 1/8. Helicoid feels fine. Aperture is good enough. I think this one's pretty good. There's a bit of yellowing to the optics in the M42s. This happens quite frequently. So just have to get the UV light on it. Another 55. This one is the 55-2. And this one has a very clear dent in the filter ring. It looks like this was dropped. This happens quite often, unfortunately. There's not much to really be done about it past that point. You will not be able to mount filters on here, but the optics appear to be in good shape. So it's kind of one of those things where visually and practically there is some shortcomings to this. It's also going to be virtually impossible to get into this lens because with the design of these lenses, with the design of the M42 lenses, everything has to kind of come out from the front. You can remove, I think, the rear grouping from here, but if you want to access any other part of the lens, it has to come out from the front. So there's kind of an issue there. You probably like bang that back out a little bit, but oh well. All right, so we got this, a Canon Canonet QL17G3, and immediately I'm looking in there and it looks like the blades are a little bit fused together. So that could be potentially an issue in the future. The overall outer ring here though looks clean, so it should be easy to remove it from the front, which is a great thing. The body itself looks to be in great condition. All the functions seem to be, visually at least, working just fine. And it even has power, and they included a battery. That's fantastic. That actually is very, very kind of them to do. The viewfinder is a little bit foggy, as they usually are with these. It's pretty easy to get in there and clean it out. It's not the brightest viewfinder to begin with, but still, good stuff. And then also the other big thing is the post that extends out of the shutter speed selection. that does seem to be intact. I can hear it like articulating the different speeds, which is very nice to know as well. Fantastic. Just got to clean the blades out, get the shutter working again. I got maybe too many Spotmatics. Maybe. I'm trying to collect the world's largest amount of Spotmatics. Just kidding. Okay, shutter's dry here. The viewfinder has a horrifying amount of dust and like mold building on top of it, so that's cool. The timing gears seem to be okay. The shutter is really goofed up. The battery compartment here has been worked on in a not great way. And let's see. I don't want to put my eye up to this because it's gross, but the needle is sitting where it should be, so the galvan meter should be okay. Light seals are gone, so this is going to need just about everything done to it. Mirror bumper, also an issue. All things considered, needs a bit of cleaning, a bit of love. Shutter needs some service. Could be worse, could be worse. This is good, like hours worth of work right there. We have another Spotmatic. This is the SP500. I got one of these not too long ago and I actually sold it very quickly. These kind of go like hotcakes. Timing seems to work okay. That looks good. Needle's where it should be, so this should be working just fine. I might get in there and clean it up a little bit, get it presentation ready. The SP500 is one of my favorite Spotmatics because it really does harken back to that simplicity. I think the SP500 and the SP1000 are the most similar to the K1000 in the fact that they don't have a self-timer. It's literally just the bare bones basics of a Spotmatic, which I kind of dig. It also has a secret shutter speed of 1/1000th, which I just think is a fun little thing. Another Spotmatic SP. I got two of these in the SP500. This one physically looks to be in worse shape, more little dents and dings here and there. Nothing too bad. The lens mount looks like it needs some help, and there's quite a bit of buildup on the mirror, which is awful. Kind of hate that actually. That's cool. Open that up. That looks relatively... the shutter's very dry, and that advance feels really awesome. Okay, well, hey, listen, it's not bad. Could be worse. Somehow, it could be worse. And the final one that we have... Ooh, that's fun. That's a fun little surprise. Wow, that's really cool. I was genuinely not expecting that. Okay, so we have a black ME. That I guess just works. And wow, this looks so good. Okay, so it did show pictures of the ME, and I thought it was this one, and there was a massive dent in the top and all that stuff. So the thing with KEH is they'll have pictures for the listing, but I think for the as-is stuff and for the bargains, they don't have the exact picture. But when I was looking at it, I thought for sure that it would be this, the picture that I saw was going to be this exact one. There was a big dent in the top and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, you know, it looks clean enough. There doesn't seem to be any like massive patining issues with the black. So like it should be fine, right? This is in like, there's a little bit of a dent here. There's very little patina going on. The bottom has a considerable amount of wear, but it's still not that bad. And it also comes with a data back, which I don't think I've ever seen a Pentax ME data back before. So that's very exciting. And wow, that's just impressive. The advance is working, the shutter's firing. I will put batteries in it and see how things are looking at that point. For all intents and purposes, this is working, and it has a data back, which was unexpected. Looks like it taps out at 1990, so a little bit past the point of usability there. The contacts look clean. I'm gonna have to give that a rip. Anyway, what a fun little surprise. We got 3 Spotmatics, we got an ME, we got the Rebel XS, we got a Canonet, we've got 4 lenses. I was gonna get a lens for this to kind of kit it out, but the lenses were a little bit more expensive, so it didn't make as much sense. I might try to find a relatively affordable 51.8 to pair with this, because I think that makes one of the best little point and shoots that you can get. So if I do that, that'll be a kit that I will try to sell. And then the rest of this I'm gonna get working on, cleaned up, and good to go. Overall though, no issues at all. This coming with a battery was huge and fantastic. This not being as sticky was really nice. The lenses are in pretty good shape. They might need a little bit of help, but for the most part, they're about as good as they're gonna be. I'm going to think more about the filter issue. Some people like shooting with filters, other people don't, so I think that that's kind of a fair thing. Like, the optics should be fine, but that obviously is a physical hindrance if you wanted to use the filter. So I'll have to think on that a little bit, what I want to do there. I might just sell them for like a discounted rate because it's not 100% usable. The ME though, that's probably the star of today's show, because I didn't even think about the data back on there. That was a very pleasant surprise. And also this being in such good condition is very surprising as well. I'm gonna see if the camera actually works with power. That's gonna be a huge thing, and if it doesn't, these are really easy to work on, so it shouldn't be too hard to get it to work again. For the price I paid, which for this one it was $15, I don't even think you can get the data back for $15. So the fact that that's just with it is pretty nice. Let's see how that shakes out. Anyway, pretty good haul today. I'm pretty jazzed. I think this stuff will sell fairly well and fairly quickly once I get it all worked on. So that'll be nice as well. And I think, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it as always. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you on the next one.